Guys, we got to talk about why the upcoming bull run later this year will be massive. Bitcoin is still at $64,000, and this has actually come when retail interest is at a 3-year low. That's right. How do we know? Well, we have this article right here. Retail interest in Bitcoin has declined to a 3-year low, and Google search interest for Bitcoin is down 57%. I could have told you this because I know that like the interest in Bitcoin right now is actually lower than it was last summer when we were at $30,000. Part of that is because AI stocks are really hot right now, but also part of it is just because interest rates are very, very high. I think some people are waiting until the election, until things calm down, and other people are waiting for the interest rate to come down. I think come August or September, when the interest rates come down, that excitement will start going up. So a metric aimed at representing retail interest in Bitcoin has just hit its lowest point in 3 years, and crypto analysts say a rebound is needed before the real bull run can begin. Now, the thing is, like, the interest might need to rebound, but the price doesn't really need to rebound all that much. 64,000 is still very, very high. Yes, it's 9K off of 73, but that's like, 12% off the all-time high, which is definitely not in bear market territory. Still in bull market territory, even though retail interest for Bitcoin and thus altcoins has actually hit an all-time low. And I think altcoins will start bouncing back with the Ethereum ETF, which by the way is debuting next week. And furthermore, with the Solana ETF and other altcoin ETFs, it definitely will skyrocket when Bitcoin skyrockets as well. So those are clues that the upcoming bull run will actually be massive and will be bigger than the last one. How do they know that Bitcoin retail interest demand is at a 3-year low? It's measured by the 30-day change in total transfer volume for transactions under 10K. So under 10K, they count that as retail volume. Like really big transactions, they count as an institutional volume, but it might be a little bit misleading because I think some of the retail investors for Bitcoin have actually switched to buying the Bitcoin ETF. We've discussed this before. The ETF is just a safer version of buying Bitcoin because it's insured by BlackRock, Fidelity, and the big guys, and it's also kind of like insured by the government. I'm pretty sure that BlackRock, Fidelity will not rug pull you. Now, that doesn't mean it insures you against market drops. Like, you're still vulnerable if Bitcoin gets hacked on the chain. You won't lose your ETF, but if that will cause Bitcoin price to go down, which will cause your ETF to go down. So some of them have definitely switched to buying the Bitcoin ETF, but the interest overall is just not there. While institutions generally execute larger Bitcoin transactions, many analysts and traders believe that major price rallies for Bitcoin cannot begin until retail investor interest surges. I agree with that because retail investors buy spot and institutions generally buy OTC, and spot is really what gets that price going. The real bull run typically begins with massive buying volume driven by retail investors. So right now, we're basically still at the base stage of Bitcoin and altcoins. We're not in the bull run stage yet because you have to have that interest tick up for the bull run stage to begin. We're basically like $64,000 is essentially our base right now. That's not our bull run price. That's our base. So imagine how much we can actually get above that base once retail comes back. And like we've said before on the stream, there's trillions of dollars, obviously not all going into crypto, that is still stuck in money market and bonds. And as the interest rate comes down over the next couple of years, people will filter more back into Bitcoin. And I think like in 2024, we're going to get 2 rate cuts. 2025, we're probably going to get 3 rate cuts regardless of who's president. And more of that money is going to filter into crypto, which will cause a massive, massive bull run. So like, there is the possibility that a lot of the ETFs in the United States are likely from retail investors, but I can tell you right now that the altcoin retail is just not there. They're not interested, so that altcoin bull run hasn't really taken part at all. And with the Ethereum ETF, with the Solana ETF, that altcoin ETF, the altcoins definitely will pump up. I think some of the retail investment has gone into the ETFs, but definitely not all of it. I still think there's people that will straight up buy Bitcoins. And there's going to be more people that search for Bitcoins and stuff because not everyone is going to buy the ETFs. So like, some people are saying, like other analysts were saying, I was surprised, but I don't think it's traditional investors yet. I still think 90% of the flows are retail. Van Eck told Cointelegraph on April 11th. But, you know, like, they're talking like with Van Eck and BlackRock and all that. They know themselves that they're buying a lot of these coins themselves for their own funds. So spot Bitcoin ETF inflows in the United States fell by 87% on July 17th compared to the previous day. So like the inflows this week have been less definitely than the week prior, but they're still positive right now. The thing is, like, I think they are afraid of the Mt. Gox sell-off. The sell-off, as the time they're recording this video, I think has already started. And right now, it doesn't seem to be as bad as people think. We'll see what happens when we go into tomorrow. But realistically, I think we're actually holding very, very well. And the broader market's just waiting for the interest rates to come down to dive into more risk-based assets. Like I said, I do believe some of it has flowed into the ETFs, so you can't really count like the lowest interest rate yet. But the fact that no one's actually searching for Google on Bitcoin price is a clear indicator how far down we actually are. So yes, $60,000 is our base price. It's not the Bullrun price. Like last time, we were working from maybe a $20,000 base price or even less. Actually, we were working from like, you know, maybe like a $15,000 or $12,000 base price last time. This time we're working with a $60,000 base price. And that's why I fully think that $150,000 is possible. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.